Hey guys, welcome to the channel, and today we are talking about breathing. So what I see very often is that when drummers are playing, they are holding their breath. So when there's something too complicated for them, the breathing stops. What's the explanation for that?
Yeah, usually breathing stops when you have to think too much what you're physically doing. So in a way, it's like you're not skilled enough yet to do that movement. So you should maybe train it so that you can keep on breathing even though you do difficult stuff. For when you're training, it's okay that the breathing stops, but it should come so easy so that the breathing is continuous and you don't have to strain it. Of course, when you're maybe slamming very hard, you might have to force your abs or something like this, but it should still, after that, continue. If there are some impairments, that could mean that even though you train a lot, and it always happens that you're holding your breath, that when you're doing some movements, it might mean, okay, your ribs are not moving enough, or so you have some back problems or anything like this. But usually it's that you're not skilled with that motor control of that movement, and you need to hold the breath. That's the same with every movement you train.
I think many people don't even realize they are not breathing, like having a consistent breathing. So now these days I'm trying to learn the breathing thing, as a one system. So whatever I'm doing, I always think about, okay, if I play this or that or whatever, I'm thinking about the breathing as one thing. So did I breathe when I practiced this? And what I've been doing for years now, I started to, breathe in rhythm. It sounds silly, but the skill that came from that exercise was something like that I always notice when I'm holding my breath. So the exercise itself was pretty easy and simple. So when you're starting, the first point, when you're starting to play, you want to be, open. You're not like 1, 2, 3, 4, and you are full. So something I've been doing is like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes.
So out from the mouth and in through your nose.
Yeah.
And
that's the same technique runners use. They're basically, you could be inhaling, exhaling along every step. And if you think about breathing, that's not very good if you're just longing for a long time, long distance. Maybe for 100 meters, that's one breath, basically what they have. But when you're drumming for an hour or 3 hour set, you cannot be breathing like, it's not gonna work. You will be exhausted, and that's not spontaneous. So that's a good exercise. You've been showing the same thing runners do, like, okay, every fourth step I'm taking a breathe out.
Or swimming is the same.
Well, of course, you have to do it there. Or of course, you can breathe with every stroke, but then you're losing quite a lot of the pulling or pushing of the water for breathing, and not good.
There was one quote I read. I can't remember where it was, but it said something like, you have to, exhale on the first beat. So like I said, like you have to be free, kind of. So that made a lot of sense because it affects your groove, how relaxed you are, and somehow the breathing topic it's not talked about like enough, because it's involved in everything we do in our lives, and the drums are super like physical instrument. So if you're not breathing, you cannot do the stuff. If you're playing, the faster you are playing, the more relaxed you should be.
Yes. Yep.
And this was something I was starting to think about when I read this great book, Anatomy of Drumming. You can find it from your bookstore, probably somewhere, and there was this topic that said something like, if you are, correct me if I'm wrong, but it said something like, if you are lifting a heavy stone and you are like preparing for the, you know, you are thinking about the stone that it's gonna be heavy, so you are taking a certain amount of effort to do it. But if it would be paper or something, and then it was this light. So what if the fast tempo would be sort of the heavy stone in your mind, if you understand what I mean? So you are like expecting it to, for you to have enough effort to do it. But if it would be just the paper you're doing.
Basically what you're telling is from anatomy perspective is when you're taking too much of a stress for your system, you're preparing for something, you're blocking the parasympathetic nervous system, like the normal breathing, and you're focusing on the sprinting part of the breathing, and that affects the breathing so that our upper part is moving more. And if you think about arms, well, all of the muscles are more tense already, like you're thinking of how to be this fast tempo. But if you let the breathing keep on the relaxed state, you have the support from the whole body, and you're free to use the arms and shoulders and the neck normally, so that you're not using it also for breathing and also using the arms to play, but you're separating those, like, hey, I'm relaxed, I have my breathing still, and I can still be fast. Basically that's what you were told.
Is there something like physical that is bad for your breathing? Are you? I'm saying, like, if you're sitting like this or that way, or what's the worst thing you can do for your breathing?
If you're forcing some form of sitting, your posture should be, well, of course, good. It needs to be good, but relaxed. It can be so that if you're sitting on your tailbone, you're already hunched forward. You're around it. It's not going to be perfect. You can be loose then, but to have a good support for your rib cage and shoulders and arms, you probably should be close to neutral with the spine so that it can move with the breathing, because when you're breathing, your whole system is moving. If you're like this, you're preventing one movement, and that is exhaling. We need to have a, when we breathe in, our spine is coming more straight, and we breathe out, it's coming more curved. I'm talking about the lumbar spine, for example, and pelvis. So it needs to be moving. If you're preventing one movement, then it's not going to be optimal, and you might have to, have helper muscles like scalenes and the rest muscles to help lift the ribs to have the breathing. And if you do that for a long time, you will be aching afterwards, like, I'm exhausted, like, I cannot drum anymore. And that's why you need the technique, or the ergonomics, basically, for breathing.
Yeah, this is super important. It doesn't affect only your drumming, it's affecting your entire life, basically. Yes. And I want to hear, what's your biggest takeaway from this video? Comment below, and if you are interested to know if you have any hidden limitations in your playing, you can take our short quiz below. The link is here in the description. And I want to thank you so much for watching the video, and see you in the next one.